Chapter 2497, The Inferno Overlords 1. For mutants, revealing the characteristics of one's power was almost always a deadly mistake. Especially in a duel where both sides were evenly matched, once your weakness was exposed, you could be instantly killed. Qi Sha understood this well, for his opponent had never once tested his abilities throughout the entire fight. From the very first strike, they targeted his vulnerabilities directly. No matter what moves he attempted, his opponent seemed to anticipate them all. This kind of battle pushed him to the brink of collapse. Yet the fight continued. With no retreat possible, he could only counterattack blindly. In the next instant, he raised his palm. Molten sand surged skyward around him, billions of tons of scorching, nearly crimson-red sand coalescing into a new shield wall. It was as if a colossal fortress of molten sand had been erected in an instant. Still want to hold out? Dang Shintong's eyes flashed with ferocity as all the prism rings suddenly blazed to their peak intensity. Eclipse, final form. Dense four-pointed stars overlapped at different angles on the new molten sand shield wall, like carving cracks into an invisible stone. Bai Li Changqing delivered a follow-up hammer strike. Zhuge Qingting and Xiao Honglian exchanged a glance. Storm Assault. Purgatory Pagoda. This golden duo, one wind attribute, one fire attribute, launched their combined assault at Qi Sha. Boom, half the entire sand dune was obliterated. That colossal, towering city of molten sand, under the combined strike of the Volt Shadow Troop, could no longer hold. It collapsed, its bulk crushed away. Qi Sha was sent crashing into the ruins of the molten lava city behind him, his chest armor developing its first piercing crack. He knelt, palms braced against the ground, his breath still steady. Again. Even completely overwhelmed, he showed no sign of retreat. Were their stances not opposed, Zhang Yi would have admired his courage. But the best way to honor an enemy is to kill him. Dang Shintong nodded silently, refusing to reveal his position. The Volt Shadow troops wouldn't give him a second chance to rebuild the molten sand city. Lu Dehai stealthily severed the replenishment flow again. Xiao Honglian absorbed the peripheral heat source. Xing Tian pushed the amplification to its peak. Bai Li Changqing charged forward, Dang Shintong at the side. The four-pointed star and the heavy hammer alternated their strikes. Boom! Crack! Bang! 3 strikes landed, shattering the Qi Sha's chest plate. Molten sand surged back, burying him beneath collapsing dunes. Still, he strained to raise his palm, desperate to forge one final shield, thin as paper, blindingly bright. Dang Shintong swept his sword blade horizontally, murmuring, "You are formidable. But this is where you end. This is the price your clan pays for igniting this war." The four-pointed star fell, like an utterly silent white flower. Qi Sha's shield shattered into specks of light. Volt Shadow's squad slowed their momentum. None cheered, yet their eyes brimmed with confidence and the pride of victory. Their years of training had not been in vain. Defeating a white bishop-level alien race, this was their glorious triumph. Bai Li Changqing hoisted his pulse hammer back onto his shoulder, exhaling a long breath. A phrase caught in his throat, finally dissolving into a calm command, "Volt Shadow, fall back." The moment the 5 Zhurong bishop-level warriors fell, the molten river's banks fell silent. Yan Zhang knelt, his chest plate shattered, his massive frame still twitching instinctively. Rong Kei's twin blades fell into the molten surface, their light fading. Qilan gazed up at the black-red dome, his eyes glistening with a first-ever hint of unwillingness. Lu Sui's fingers trembled slightly, the severed thread scattering like a dead snake. Qi Sha, buried up to his chest in a half-collapsed sand dune, still struggled to raise his palm, pointing toward the distant sea of magma. Their gazes, almost in the same instant, turned despairingly toward the same direction. As if in silent accusation. Zhang Yi watched coldly, observing the entire battle. Everything unfolded precisely as Yang Xinxin had planned, leaving no room for surprises. When he chose to intervene, he possessed absolute certainty of victory. "Guardian of the Molten River, you Inferno overlords. Now that your loyal followers have fought to the death, will you still hide? A cold smile curved Zhang Yi's lips as his eyes narrowed slightly. How to put it? If the other party could continue to endure silently now, he would even feel some admiration. Putting himself in their shoes, when facing an invasion by a supremely powerful alien race, with the front lines completely shattered and technological capabilities vastly inferior, the hope of a species should be to flee decisively. Much like Zhang Beihai in the Three-Body Problem, who piloted a starship to escape. Ran Yutian, the guardian of the Molten River, couldn't possibly have been unaware that Zhang Yi existed within the Heavenly Navy Corps. Yet, living beings are ultimately emotional creatures. As the glory of a race, revered as a godlike existence. Could he truly walk away after witnessing his entire people slaughtered? Had he not intervened, Zhang Yi would have considered retreat. After all, he held no certainty in facing 3 Inferno overlords alone. They had already secured a decisive victory this time, returning now would not be a loss. So then, what will you choose? Flaming Prison Overlord, Ran Yutian. Within Zhang Yi's eyes, the light and shadow of time and space powers swirled like the yin-yang fish of the Tai Chi symbol. From the moment he appeared in the land of Zhurong until now, he had not once intervened. Yet, at every instant, he remained prepared to unleash his full might. Suddenly, an indescribable oppressive force erupted from beneath the molten river. The tidal wave of molten rock surged without wind. The entire river seemed lifted from below by some colossal force, its surface swelling into arc after arc. Waves of crimson gold light illuminated the cavern's ceiling like a living sky. The next instant, a thunderous roar rolled from the earth's depths, reverberating threefold like 3 colossal bells tolling underground. A straight pillar of white-hot light shot up from the center of the molten sea. Immediately after, a 10,000-foot cascade of fire plummeted downward, rushing and swirling as if draping a fiery crown over some figure about to emerge. Fatty Sue and the others still on the battlefield all paled. Oh crap, the big one's finally here. Boss, save us. A flicker of excitement danced in Zhang Yi's eyes. You've finally shown yourself. He appeared. Ran Yutian, the true ruler of the Molten River, one of the Inferno overlords. Rock crowns stretched endlessly, fire veins fully unleashed. Step by step, he ascended from the depths of the molten sea. His form surged in size the moment he reached the summit, instantly breaking through 100 meters, 300 meters, 500 meters. Transforming into a 1,000-meter-tall lava colossus. 10 fiery crowns hung upon his spine like 10 crimson suns suspended in the sky. The molten core within his chest blazed like a miniature sun, its brilliance blinding to behold. He took a step forward. The cavernous realm trembled. Scorching heat swept like a tempest, softening, collapsing, and melting the stone city, molten pillars, and military banners with each breath. Sky-supporting rock lord. Merely standing there, the entire molten river became his armor, the whole subterranean world his furnace. The 1,000-meter shadow cast down, the volt shadow ranks at his feet dwarfed to mere grains of sand. Ran Yutian raised a palm. Fiery springs erupted from his fingertips, molten rock cascading into a scalding giant blade of light that sliced sideways. Chapter 2498, The Inferno Overlords 2. The Inferno Overlord guarding the molten river, Ran Yutian, could no longer hold back and finally revealed himself. Even though he knew waiting for reinforcements to arrive before acting was the optimal choice, Zhang Yi and his group were simply slaughtering enemies far too swiftly. If he truly waited for the troops from the other 2 sectors to arrive, not a single soul would remain alive in this molten river region. Therefore, he chose to strike. His arm swung, unleashing a crimson rainbow light that swept across the sky like a shockwave. The entire magma sea boiled, churning up colossal storms in its wake. Fatty Sue and the others had already turned pale. Facing such overwhelming might, even fully armed, they couldn't withstand a single strike. Liang Yu gripped her sword tightly, prepared to fight to the death. But at this moment, their intervention was no longer needed. I've been waiting for you. A low murmur echoed. Zhang Yi's eyelashes fluttered slightly. Deep within his left pupil, an ancient black gold dial silently unfolded. An exquisitely thin second hand clicked into motion, the second hand of time, already foreseeing the trajectory and fatal point of the next beat. Time stretched into a thin membrane around him, everything frozen in an instant of slow motion. The angle of Ranutien's raised palm, the arc of the scorching blade, the pulsing rhythm of the molten core, all transformed into 3 distinct markings on that second hand. How he would strike next? No, 5 seconds earlier, Zhang Yi already knew he would strike. Thus, the instant Ranutien materialized, Zhang Yi struck, with a tacit understanding as if the two had planned it. Zhang Yi's fingers twitched slightly. It was an instinctive reaction to calculate how to precisely extract a spatial dimension within a vast area, a radius of 5 kilometers centered on himself, on a 2-dimensional plane. Indeed, dimensional string severance demanded mental calculation. It wasn't a mathematical puzzle, but it required precise mental measurement within a spherical range. The space seemed to snap together at his fingertips, like invisible strings being pulled tight. Dimensional string severance. Silence. No breath. No preparatory stance. Naturally, there was no hint of an impending strike. 12 razor-sharp cuts, from the giant's shoulder line to his armpit, from armpit to ribcage, from ribcage to molten core, flashed simultaneously. Snap. An extremely faint cracking sound emanated from within Ranutien's massive frame. The next instant, the scorching blade he was about to bring down suddenly lost its balance. His arm slid half an inch from the shoulder line, barely held back by the viscous heat, yet the molten core suddenly sank. The colossal shadow staggered. The molten sea churned. 3 gashes, each 100 meters wide, tore from his chest all the way to his spine, as if ripped open by an invisible force. Ranutien's rage surged to the peak, his fiery crown erupting as the temperature instantly shot up another level. Yet, compared to anger, shock overwhelmed him more. The unknown is always the most terrifying. In the instant that attack struck, he hadn't sensed the thing. Only by sheer instinct had he dodged vital injuries at the last moment. The edges of the gashes were forcibly melted away as he welded himself back together with super-high heat. Ranutien's heart sank. He knew this time, he was truly in deep trouble. 5 white bishop-level Zhurong clan warriors hadn't perished yet, a few were merely gravely wounded. His goal was to rescue those promising young talents back, they were the future hope of the Zhurong clan. But his approach was to attack Wei to rescue Zhao. Ranutien's gaze swept in all directions as fiery currents surged violently from his body. The nuclear blast-like power indiscriminately swept toward Liang Yu, Uncle Yu, Fatty Su, and the Volt Shadow Troop formation. Yet Zhang Yi had already materialized from the void. Whoosh! Space shuffle, he landed before the advancing army, still uttering not a single word. Every terrifying energy storm vanished without a trace the moment it touched everything under heaven, like a cow sinking into the sea. It couldn't even stir the slightest ripple. Over the past half-year, guided by the Lunar Clan and with Ling's attentive interpretation, Zhang Yi had gained a deeper understanding of supernatural abilities, these idealistic powers. Though his ability index stood at merely 52,000 points, his combat prowess far exceeded that level. Moreover, he now possessed external enhancements. His right hand gripped the Eternal Judgment Sword, imbued with divine refinement, while he wore the Terminator Demon God armor, forged from the power of faith of hundreds of millions of Huashu Kingdom citizens. Fully armed and in his mightiest form, even facing a mere white chariot today, he maintained this posture of a lion hunting a rabbit. He refused to take any risk whatsoever, perfect victory was his sole objective. How could a monster like you emerge among the 6th generation of humans on land? Ranutien's booming voice reverberated deafeningly. His colossal form towered a kilometer high, a mountain range dwarfing the human world. Yet this mountain now flowed with molten lava. The searing heat alone warped the air around him, melting stones in nearby cities. Your intelligence is outdated. So, you deserve to be caught in your own trap. Zhang Yi sneered without restraint. If these ancient races hadn't initiated the attack, he wouldn't have bothered fighting them. But some people just love courting death. Who could blame them? Actually, we could sit down and talk this out. Ran Yutian hesitated before speaking. Humph, but all he received in response was Zhang Yi's dismissive snort. He stared at Ran Yutian with icy eyes. Through the demon god armor, the cold light emanating from his pupils was blood-red. Do you take me for a 3-year-old child? Only the dead are truly safe. So, all of you can go to hell. Zhang Yi couldn't care less whether Ran Yutian genuinely sought to make peace. Their very existence was a threat. Only dead alien races were good alien races. Besides, Zhang Yi knew for certain that Zhurong clan troops from the other 2 realms, along with 2 night-level Inferno overlords, were already on their way. Let's end this quickly and send you to your death. Zhang Yi extended a finger, and the second wave of the strings released descended. The space became a net, its surface like a chessboard. The intersecting strings sliced the 1,000-meter-tall molten mountain into massive chunks poised to fall, yet held together by the intense heat. Each cut struck precisely at the trough of the molten core's pulsating rhythm. Ran Yutian stared in shock. Even with his guard up this time, the attack arrived utterly without warning, no trajectory, no way to dodge. Fortunately, his colossal form ensured that his core remained unharmed, averting fatal damage. Still, watching his volcanic body get hacked into chunks filled him with fury. In his fury, Ran Yutian stomped violently into the sea of magma beneath him. Have you ever seen an ocean overturn? Now, the entire sea of molten rock became Ran Yutian's weapon. Waves surged, forming massive, churning dragons that tore fiercely toward Zhang Yi from every direction and angle. Chapter 2499, The Inferno Overlords 3. Ran Yutian's assault was frenzied and terrifying. An entire sea of magma roared and boiled. The Volt Shadow Troop and Fatty Sue, who had fled to a distant location, had already returned to the Dreamer. The Mechanical Legion was also urgently recalled by Liu Karen. They understood better than anyone that the power of a night-tier existence defied all conventional understanding. Their casual strikes could unleash terror surpassing that of a Tsar bomb. Before them lay an endless underground sea of molten rock, covering over 1,000 kilometers, a distance even longer than the vertical span of the Jiangnan region. When Ran Yutian stepped forward, unleashing the magma's power, they witnessed tidal waves of molten rock surging from hundreds of kilometers away, coalescing into colossal magma dragons stretching nearly 10,000 meters in length. My heavens! Can humans truly achieve such feats? No matter how many times they witnessed it, Fatty Sue and the others still found it hard to believe. Deng Shintong recalled the knowledge he'd absorbed while following Zhang Yi, letting out a soft sigh. Perhaps this is the true way itself. Just like the invincible divine gear in games, it's nothing more than a string of intangible code. He suddenly recalled a phrase Zhang Yi had uttered, one that explained the true essence of the universe and the source of a supernatural being's power. Form is powerless, formlessness is powerful. This battle was beyond their reach. Even 100 more white bishops couldn't defeat a single white knight through regular combat. All they could see was Zhang Yi, suspended motionless in midair, seemingly utterly alone. Ran Yutian's assault was colossal. Molten lava and scorching currents made everything around them boil, causing the sea of magma to tremble as if the entire subterranean world was on the verge of collapse. Ran Yutian unleashed relentless attacks, each technique growing more devastating than the last. But, from start to finish, Zhang Yi stood perfectly still, not moving an inch. No matter the attack, the moment it touched the formless dimensional gate of everything under heaven, it was completely absorbed. If Zhang Yi's own attack power was 52,000 points, then his defense was at least 55,000 points, and could be even higher under special circumstances. Yet Ran Yutian's ability index was only 50,000 points. Impossible. This absolutely impossible. Why? Why are my attacks having no effect whatsoever on him? Even if he's incredibly powerful, he must block or dodge at least once, right? Is he some kind of Black Knight? Ran Yutian's mind reeled, teetering on the edge of collapse. He wanted to buy time, to let his clan escape, or wait for reinforcements to arrive. But after attacking so relentlessly, so desperately, how could it all be rendered utterly useless? After enduring hundreds of Ran Yutian's assaults, Zhang Yi had gained a clear understanding of his opponent's capabilities. Have you had enough? Then this farce ends now. He lifted his gaze, his voice calm. Karen. Full force assault. We're not here for a nightly duel. Who wants to fight him one-on-one? Roger. Lu Karen's voice was crisp and excited. The main cannons of the 3 super warships simultaneously ignited with energy radiation. The Dreamer held center position, followed by the Homestead and the Blue Space on both sides. The whole structural lines illuminated as the main spine cannons along the warship's length activated one by one. Thick alloy heat shields extended from the walls, while thrusters blasted brilliant white exhaust plumes, carving 3 sharp trails through the scorching air. The Tianhai fortress then pressed forward, its colossal city-sized silhouette unfolding beneath the dome. The ring-shaped main cannons charging step by step, shields unfurling like perpetual daylight, illuminated like a silver moon. Within the main cannon source, energy accumulated like a star on the verge of collapse. 3 super battleships, including Tianhai Fortress where Zhang Yi and his companions resided. A pinnacle of military engineering, fusing the expertise of Lu Karen, the Tsangyuan tribe, the Wulwan Empire, and select lunar technology. Its main cannon possessed lethality sufficient to intimidate even night-tier mutants. Zhang Yi struck first, forming a blade with his fingers and slicing through the air with blinding speed. Those separated by vast distance, as his fingertips flickered, enormous, slender fissures materialized around Ran Yutian's body. Silently appearing upon him, they sliced his incredibly hard form directly into fragments. Ran Yutian roared in panic, retreating. His speed was swift, yet it could never outpace Zhang Yi's. Dimensional string severance, net of heaven. Zhang Yi unleashed 3,600 dimensional string severances in one breath. The spatial fissures coalesced into a vast, chaotic web, completely sealing off his body like an inescapable net. This technique, its inspiration drawn from the Black Chariot-level mutant of the Wulwan clan, Pokong's bird in a cage. Those razor-sharp dimensional blades could shatter even colossal mountains with the slightest touch. Ran Yutian found himself trapped, unable to move. Lu Karen wouldn't miss this opportunity. Seated at the command console, her gaze was cool, though a suppressed smile of excitement played at the corners of her mouth. Yang Xinxin stood by silently, ready to assist with command at any moment. Fire! As Lu Karen uttered the command, the Dreamer's main cannon roared. A platinum beam thick enough to split the heavens erupted from the main gun, followed instantly by the Homestead and the Blue Space's main cannons. 3 massive beams, like thunderous mountains descending, shot toward Ran Yutian with the force of an avalanche. The final energy ring of the Tianhai Fortress's main cannon closed, its silver-blue star trails igniting instantly. The entire fortress seemed to extinguish all its lights, leaving only a deadly beam of light. Tianhai City Cannon, fire! A single line pierced through. The platinum and silver-blue colors converged within the chest cavity of the kilometer-tall giant, directly targeting its pulsing molten core. First came a blinding flash, then a deathly silence that swallowed all sound. Only later did the delayed roar shatter the earth from within. A gaping hole tore through Ran Yutian's chest. The molten core flickered like an oil lamp with its wick torn out, its light dimmed further, until it became a chaotic stream of fire attempting to flee back into the molten sea. Despicable! Have you no dignity as a warrior? Knowing the battle was lost, Ran Yutian chose to escape outright. He cursed bitterly. Zhang Yi was already stronger than him, yet he still sought allies. Ridiculous. I came to kill you, why bother with rules of conduct, huh? Save your escape attempts. You're already dead. Zhang Yi uttered the iconic line of the man with 7 scars. Whoosh! From 5 kilometers away, he instantly closed the distance, blocking Ran Yutian's path. Trying to run? He really doesn't hold the world's top spatial ability user in any regard. Zhang Yi stood before Ran Yutian, raising the Eternal Judgment sword in his right hand. Its blade spun gently. A colossal dark vortex opened behind him, obscuring the vast expanse of space behind Zhang Yi. A substance darker than night itself surged forth from within like an ocean tide. Enveloping Zhang Yi's blade, it roared forth like a flood, viscous, fluid, and seemingly alive. Dark Realm Current,